Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video, I'm going to be helping you guys out with the upcoming Tailed monster. I'm gonna help you decide whether or not you should actually go for this mythic. So lots of you guys have been asking me on my live stream and also on my previous videos, like the comments and stuff. You guys have been asking me, is this monster worth it? Should I go for it? And will this monster be meta? I'm gonna explain all that throughout this video. So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, drop a like and also subscribe with notifications on. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So to start things off, this monster's role is to apply torture, so it's a torturer, and this mythic has Pierce as a trait. It's really good. It's literally the first cosmic mythic right now in the game that has Pierce as a trait, not as a status caster, but as a trait. So the only monsters that could really get rid of it would be either Tabora, Do, or any other monster that removes positives and trait disables and stuff. But yeah, you could trait disable, get rid of that, but still, the Pierce is really good. Ardent. All status effects have a 20% less accuracy. Okay, pretty good. And then you have self precision. So this actually helps since this mythic is a Pierce torturer, so that self precision will help it out, give the monster more, make the monster's skills more precise. So trait wise, I like it. I really like it a lot. But we're gonna take a look at the stats. We're gonna compare it and see how good it is. All right. So we don't really have to worry about the strength because this monster's torturer. We're gonna skip that. But speed, you have 5,984 speed. That is really good. That is fantastic. 67,558 life. Here's the thing, that's one of the lowest life in the game. It's actually the lowest, tied with a couple of mythics right now. Super Fox has 67,558. Who else? Robo Elf has 67,558. Same with Lord Platypus and a couple of other mythics. So the life, his life is actually pretty darn low, but his speed is insane. I like it. So I've got to say, this monster can easily be denied. Now don't get me wrong, you can pair this mythic up with the Do or Tabora and they'll make a great team, because then you can remove positives in case they have you meet to torture or something, because that's basically the monster's role, right? To apply tortures. Now for those of you that are confused, you're like, what the heck, this monster has pierce, right? Can't he just pierce through immune to torture? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. So that's why pairing it up with the Do or Tabora would be a good choice, so that you could remove positives, trait disable them in case they're immune to torture, either as a trait or as a status caster. You can get rid of that and the monster could do its job. So I've got to show you guys this. Take a look at this. This was posted in Social Point forums by the community manager of the game. We're going to take a look at the skills here. So one of them, it's a moderate metal damage to an enemy, applies bleed and burn. So you have bleeding and burn at once. Remember, you have pierce as a trait, right? So even if there's a mega taunt, you'll just pierce through that, and you can basically apply bleed or burn to any of the enemies you want. This next skill applies burn to all enemies, and that's it. Literally just burn to all enemies. Once again, if you do not have Tabora or Do, it's hard to use this monster. Deadly Execution. It's a moderate metal damage to an enemy, applies nanovirus and poison to an enemy. Nanovirus is actually quite nice because it deals some damage, and also the enemy can't really apply any positives to themselves. So they'll have to end up cleansing that in order to, in order for them to actually either heal themselves or whatever they want to do. But anyways, the last skill, it just applies nanovirus and daze to all enemies, so you're going to reduce your accuracy by about 25% with the daze, and you're also applying nanovirus, which will deal some damage and also kind of blocks positives. So skill wise, not so good, honestly. Maybe there are some other skills here. What do we have? Iron Explosion, it's a moderate metal damage to one enemy, applies bleed only. Fire Explosion, moderate metal damage to an enemy, applies bleed. Toxic skill, it's a low metal damage to an enemy, applies poison to an enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself. So that skill, it costs 22 stamina cost, and it's a 2-turn cooldown. Alright, you can't run that since it's giving you an extra turn. Although remember, if you're facing an Anticipation monster, that'll just trigger it. So you're gonna have to watch out from that if you're gonna run that skill. Me, normally, if I do end up getting this monster, I'd probably run that poison. I mean, it's reducing the enemy's power and also it will deal some damage, right? So getting that extra turn right after, what I can do is maybe use my either AoE day skill or one of the other skills. All right, So yeah, let's see, what do we have for relics? We have mask and trap. So with mask, you could probably remove some stamina with it. Trap, you could either remove stamina, deal damage, or whatever you want to do. Books, mechanical, villains, and undead. So I wanted to point this out though. For the books, right, where it says villains, he's actually in the mechanical, villains and undead. So for her villains, you guys know Dagil has that extra turn skill that applies triple damage to himself, and then whoever's in the villain's book gets swiped off. That leaves this monster vulnerable, so that kind of sucks for this mythic. I mean, metal versus light, you know, he'll probably deal some damage, but remember Dagil has an SN as one of his relic slots, so even if he does end up dealing some amount of damage and later on ends up eliminating Dagil could just come back with the revival SN. So yeah, and this isn't an attacker or something, so that moderate metal damage probably won't even deal that much damage. The highest it could do is probably like 10,000 damage or something. Let's go ahead and break this down, okay? For stat wise, your speed is really good, your life, you're lacking on it, right? But it's okay. Remember, you have a mask, right? You can go ahead and give this mask a type of mask that probably starts off with like an armor in the beginning of the battle to help you out, or maybe when he gets damaged, you can receive some armor from that. Or you can just give like mutant runes and help him out that way as well. That works too. But trait-wise, it's really good. Okay, trait-wise is really good. Remember, this monster can easily be denied. So, in my opinion, this mythic will not be meta. Alright? But maybe you can work something out here and there with maybe pairing it up with Dew or Tabora or something like that. But most player will not be using him, and I don't see him being used on PvP soon, like nowhere in the near future. Maybe if they work something out, you know, once again, a type of strategy or something that they could come up with that could win them battles. But other than that, I really don't see much in him, honestly. Me personally, I'm not gonna go for it. Here's the thing though, if you want to go for him just for the books, you know, the rewards in the books, go ahead and do it. But me personally, I'm not gonna go for it. I'm gonna save my gems. Right now I have 9,000 gems, so I could go for it if I really wanted to. But I might actually just review it very soon, right? Social Point might give it to me, so I'll go ahead and show you guys what he's really like in battles and stuff. But should you get it? That's a question. Should you actually go for it? Here's the thing, if you're lacking on gems, I don't recommend going for it. But for those of you that are stacked on gems, you have tons of gems, right? You can go on and get it for maybe gold purposes, for maybe collection purposes, or maybe if it's your first mythic or first few mythics, do it. But other than that, in my opinion, this mythic isn't really worth it. I know he has a Pierce trait. Don't get tricked by that, okay? Really, don't get tricked by that. We'll probably have better monsters in the near future that has Pierce trait, and that'll be even better than this Execumancer guy, okay? Because we've seen it with Vastus. You guys remember Vastus? He was the first Pierce monster as a status caster. Well, now does anybody really use him? No. We have Vanos 2099. We have who else do we have? Superfox, right? With Pierce. So yeah, once again, guys, we'll probably see a lot better monsters in the near future. Cosmic monsters or whatever that are even better than Execumancer. So save your gems unless you really want to go for it. But I hope this video actually helped you guys out. You know, just getting some info from me about this mythic. So I hope I actually maybe changed your mind or something about some of the stuff that you were probably confused about. And I hope this video actually helped you guys out. But anyways, if it did, go ahead and drop a like and also subscribe with notifications on. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.